Welcome back, guys. We are now on the last of the Forgotten Realms spoilers. I believe it's the last. Still not 100% if it's going to be the last. I have a feeling there's going to be more from the commander, but I've heard it's the last day of spoilers. So, this is what we got. We got a Vecna token. Alright, cool. We've already seen all the Vecna cards. We got something from the commander sets. Let's go ahead and see if we can figure out what this is. 7 CMC, green, white, blue, and 4 other giant with Ward 3, 7/7. Let's see, other creatures you control have Ward 3. Nice, that's pretty cool. Whenever he enters the battlefield or attacks, choose one of the following. Target creature's base power and toughness become 7/7, or target creature's base power and toughness become 1/1. So you can make one of your guys huge or shrink one of your opponent's creatures. A pretty cool card. And we got some Beholder guy here. Mythic rare out of Commander's stuff. Let's see. Whenever you attack a player, goad target creature that player controls, tap it. You know, 5/5 for 5 is not bad, and goading is pretty powerful in Commander. Whenever an opponent attacks another one of your opponents, you and the attacking player each draw a card and lose a life. This is pretty cool. It's a strong incentive for your opponents to attack each other, draw cards, you get to draw cards. Yeah, this is definitely going to see a good bit of play, I think, in Commander, this Beholder. Very cool. We got some Mind Flayer here. 2 white, blue, black. 3/5 for 5. When it enters the battlefield for each opponent, tap up to 1 untapped creature you control. When you do, choose target creature or player that controls with power less than or equal to the power of the tapped creature. You control that creature as long as you control this guy. Now, again, basically, it's almost like commanding your more powerful creatures to steal their creatures. That's kind of cool. Whenever you attack with a creature an opponent owns, you gain 2 life, and the player who owns that creature loses 2 life. The old steal shenanigans. Yeah, people are going to want to remove this ASAP. No one likes having their stuff stolen, and you get it back when this guy dies, so. The case for running more removal is getting stronger. Alright. We got a 7 CMC dragon. Red, green, 5. Flying haste, 4/4. Whenever it attacks, add X mana in any combination of colors, or X the total of power of attacking creatures. Can only be used to cast spells. This mana isn't lost at the end of steps. Flying haste is going to generate you a bunch of mana, potentially more than the casting cost with your other creatures attacking. So this is pretty good. Pretty strong, it seems like. Alright, now we're getting to the normal card sets. We got a common here, Great Axe. Little equipment that gives +4/+0, 1 to bring out, 5 to equip. 5 to equip is very expensive. +4/+0 and nothing else. I don't think people are going to play that too much. Alright, we got Grim Bounty, 2 black sorcery. Destroy a creature planeswalker, create a treasure. At least it can hit planeswalkers. Going to be really strong and limited because removal. And you get a little bit of ramp out of it. Kind of pricey, but at least you can kill about anything. Pretty good for a common, especially in limited. Aberrant Mind Sorcerer, 5 CMC, 4 in a blue, 3/4 Human Elf Shaman. Psionic Spells, ETB, choose a instant or sorcery, then roll d20, 1 through 9, you put it on top. It's about 45% of the time. 10 through 20, return it to your hand. That's about 55% of the time. Yeah, not super good, not super bad, kind of mediocre there. It could come in handy if you've got a bomb in your graveyard that you want to recast, but otherwise, if you don't, it's not a very efficient card. Spare Dagger. Nice common equipment here. 1 to bring out, 1 to equip. Equipped creature gets +1/+0, and whenever you attack with that creature, you may sack Spare Dagger, deal 1 damage to any target. That's cool. It's like a little throwing dagger. But you could just not throw it if you don't want to. Iron Golem. 4 for 5/3 Golem. Vigilance, attacks, or blocks each turn of each combat if able. Yeah, I kind of like this. This is a kind of a throwback to Juggernaut, who was just 5/3 that attacked each turn if able. Now we got one with Vigilance that attacks and blocks. I like it. I feel like this is going to be pretty strong because your opponent has got to do something about it. It's just going to keep swinging and blocking, so they've got to spend removal on it or block it or something. And it's a decent cost for the power toughness. I think Iron Golem's going to be pretty strong and limited. Definitely a high pick priority. Underdark Basilisk, 1/2 for 2 with Death Touch. Strong and limited, otherwise not super great. Just that it can kill any ground pounder is nice. Alright, Ranger's Longbow, 1 and a green. Equipment, equipped creature is +2/+1 and has reach, equipped for 3. I guess if you really need reach, this could be okay, but it's kind of expensive to get reach. There's much cheaper ways to get reach. It's just a common though. And we got Plummet. Plummet's a reprint. That's been a million sats. Compelled Duel, 1 and a green. Target creature gets +3/+3 until the end of turn. Must be blocked this turn if able. This is decent and limited because you're going to use it as a removal card pretty much. You're going to buff up your creature, swing, force them to block, and lose their creature. The downside of these type of cards that rely on your creature is they could always just be saving removal and remove your creature in response. And then you lose your spell, you lose your creature, you lose your removal. So it's always risky, but green doesn't have a whole lot of options for removal. So you gotta kind of take what you can get with these fight and lure cards. So I would say it's okay, but it's not spectacular. It could win you the game though. This sort of effect could be like, alright, that's what I needed to get through and swing for the win, you know? Alright, Boots of Speed. 1 red, equipped creature has +1/+0 and haste, equipped for 1. I feel like this is a better Crystal Slipper. You know, the Crystal Slipper from Throne of Eldraine. This seems like just a better version of that. So, not bad. Armory Veteran. 1 and a red for common Orc Warrior. It's a 2/2. If it's equipped, it has Menace. Okay. Thieves' Tools, another common equipment. 1 and a black. When Thieves' Tools ETBs create a treasure, that's good. That's really good already. Equipped creature can't be blocked as long as its power is 3 or less. Equipped for 2. I feel like this is pretty good. Just the fact that it makes a treasure and kind of ramps you for your next turn is pretty strong right off the bat. And then just getting some potential evasion could be nice if you've got creatures that need to get through to have their effect. There's a lot of those, like, you know, Rower the Rich or something that will draw you cards whenever it's unblocked. Yeah, Thieves' Tools. I think this is probably one of the better commons, potentially. Mainly because even if you don't get to equip it and do all that, you still get that treasure ramp, which could be quite relevant if you've got a lot of high casting cost stuff in your deck. Alright, we got Horde Robber, 1 and a black. For Tiefling 1/3 Rogue. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, creates a treasure. Eye of the Beholder, 4 black for an instant. Target creature gets -11, -11. Way too pricey to actually be playable with that 6 CMC, but it is instant. And it basically kills anything. It gets around indestructible and all that stuff because -11, -11. So potentially could see a little play in limited. It might be a decent pick just since it can remove anything. But in constructed, there's going to be better ways to remove things in general. So pretty cool. I wish it was just a little bit lower on the CMC, but even if it was, it probably still wouldn't be played too much. Deadly Dispute, 1 and a black, instant. Additional cost, sack an artifact or creature. Draw 2 cards, create a treasure. Seems decent. Trickster's Talisman, 1 blue. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you may sack it. If you do, create a token that's a copy of this creature. So, if your creature deals combat damage to a player, you can get a copy of your creature. This seems okay. I don't know if it's good or not. It could potentially be good, but it seems pretty situational too. I guess if your deck is built around wanting to get multiple copies of something, this is not bad. Alright, Steadfast Paladin, 1 and a white. Oh wait, I'm going to back up the Trickster's Talisman. Just Trying to think of some scenarios where this might be busted, but I'm not really thinking of any. Like Emery, Lurker of the Lock, you can potentially do it every turn, but that's kind of clunky. Requires you to have Emery out there, tap Emery, recast this, re-equip this. Yeah, I don't know if this is good. It's definitely got some potential of like being a very annoying card for your opponent to mess with or have to deal with. If you get to copy one of your big non-legendary dragons or something. Alright, Steadfast Paladin, 1 and a white for a 2/2 lifelink. Priest of Ancient Lore, 2 and a white for a Dwarf Cleric. 2/1. When it ETBs, you gain a life and draw a card. This is a good common. Yeah, it gains you life and draws a card and gives you a board state. So replacing itself and drawing a card and getting your little board state's pretty good. Yeah, I mean 2/1's not super big, but if you've got a slower control-y type deck, this might be good. So it's obviously not like broken or anything, but it's not bad. I would say it's better than like Steadfast Paladin overall, because they could fight each other and they'd both die except you got a card out of the whole deal. So not bad. Alright, Arboreal Pegasus, 3 and a white for a common Pegasus, 2/3 flying. When ETBs, target creature gets +1/+1 flying to the end of turn. Kind of a meh card, but okay in limited. Blink Dog, 2 and a white, a 1/1 double strike, and it has teleport. 3 and a white, phases out. Yeah, I don't know about this. It's just really expensive for a 1/1, even with double strike. And the phase out isn't going to be that relevant because it's so expensive to do. Alright, Leather Armor. Well, 1 CMC equipment. Equipped creature gets +0/+1 and has warp 1. Equip 0. Activate only once each turn. The equip 0 is very nice. But this whole effect of +1 defense and ward 1 is not very strong. It's not gonna make a whole lot of difference most of the time. So there's a lot of times where this is kind of gonna be a card that has very little to no effect on the game. So I don't think it's very good for that reason. All right, we got Neverwinter Dryad. 1 green mana for a 1/1 Dryad. Cool. 2 sack, search your library for a basic forest card, put it in the battlefield tapped. This seems okay. It is only basic forest, so that makes it a little worse. And you do have to spend a total of 3 mana to even get a land or a forest into play tapped, but you do have a body that could potentially chump block. It's sort of like to me it seems like a worse Sakura Tribe Elder. Sakura Tribe Elder being the old, 2 CMC 1/1 that you could sack for basic land into play tap. So yeah, this seems okay. I don't think it's gonna be too highly played though, I wouldn't imagine. Alright, next up we have Dragon's Fire, 1 and a red for an instant. Common. As you cast, you may reveal a dragon or choose a dragon you control. Dragon's Fire does 3 damage to target creature planeswalker. For revealed a dragon or choose a dragon, it deals damage equal to the power of that card or creature instead. Sorry. This seems pretty good. 3 damage to a creature planeswalker is the baseline. Not bad for 2 mana, good removal card. If you have dragons, you could potentially do a lot more. Yeah, I think this is a pretty good card, especially for limited. Or sealed, or draft, or whatever you want to call it. That's what I mean when I say limited. Yeah, definitely a high pick priority in those formats. But otherwise, it's going to be iffy. Okay, and in like some kind of dragon deck, maybe. Especially for flavor. Alright, Loyal Warhound, a rare. 1 and a white, dog, 3/1, vigilance. Whenever ETBs, opponent has more lands than you can search for planes, put it on play tapped. Cool. So a little rampy card. This is a nice card because it's so cheap. 2 mana for a 3/1 vigilance. It's going to get you a land the majority of the time. It's not bad. This is probably going to see a lot of commander play, I imagine. Temple of the Dragon Queen. a land. ETBs, you may reveal a dragon. If you do, it's or you control a dragon. Okay. So in ETBs, you can either reveal from your hand, or if you control a dragon, it comes in untapped. Otherwise, it comes in tapped. And you choose a color, tap to add to 1 mana of the chosen color. This seems pretty good, actually. Lands that get you any color and can come in untapped are always strong. Too bad you can't change up that color, but, you know, I guess you can with like some of the bounce lands or the Karoo lands, Commander, are the ones that when they ETB you gotta bounce another land. So that's not that relevant of a point though. This seems okay though. I like this card overall. Asmodeus, the Archfiend. 4 black, legendary devil god. Huh, okay. Rare. Oh, this is the Necropotence guy. If you would draw a card, exile it face down instead. He is a 6/6 for 6, so that's not bad right off. If you would, okay, so you exile anything you draw. You can pay 3 black to draw 7 cards, which of course will get exiled face down. You can pay a single black to return all exiled cards with Asmodeus to their owner's hand and lose that much life. Yeah, it's a little, If you can like sneak him into play and have a lot of black mana, it's pretty good. At least it doesn't completely shut off your normal draw like Necropotence does, but it kind of does in a way because you still have to pay life to even get them, just like with Necropotence. But you can get them not at the end of your turn. You can get them whenever you want just by paying a black. So I'm curious to see whether people will break this like they did with things like Gristlebrand and Yawgmoth's Bargain and stuff, but probably not, just because you have to dump mana into drawing cards. The whole reason Gristlebrand and Necropotence and Yawgmoth's Bargain are broken is because you don't have to pay any mana to get those cards. So that's a pretty limiting factor here. I don't think he's that good. He's still okay. He's not bad. But to get any sort of card draw advantage, you do have to end up paying at least 7 life. And otherwise, you're just shutting off your draw and you start to have to pay mana and life for your draw, which is terrible. If you don't get to use this draw 7 cards, he's a pure disadvantage. That's something that's really important to note. He's the last card here, so we're going to talk about it a little more. So yeah, let's just think about this. I think this is overall pretty bad, actually. It's good if you have a ton of life and a ton of mana, but there's a lot of cards that are good if you have a ton of life and a ton of mana. So it's not super great. But yeah, if you can't do this draw 7 cards thing, or you just don't have enough life to do it, pure disadvantage. You no longer get to draw unless you pay mana and pay life just to draw like you used to be able to normally before you played him. So I think they're just better 6/6s for 6 mana in general. But maybe in a life gain deck or something, this might be really good to just be able to refill your hand, and you're like, I don't care, I have 40 life, I don't mind paying 7 or 8. That could potentially win you the game. So I have kind of mixed feelings about this guy, but I do like it. I like that the design is not like super obviously broken. Like with some things like Gristlebrand, that was really obviously broken. You know, with some card you just look at and you're like, how did this ever get through quality assurance or whatever? This one I can see how it got through. But we'll see if anyone breaks it. Alright, that's going to do it. I think this is the last of the spoilers. If there are any more, I'll make another video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.